Anyway, fam, I am going to my first call. I'm going to 562. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi, Yvette. This is Lydia calling from Los Angeles. How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been trying to get in to talk to you. Well, I know today's subject is about the banks and everything, but there is a portion of this COVID and Black ADOS that I would like for you to explore. I don't know if you've read any of the articles from the CDC, the WHO, American Academy of Pediatrics, and how we in this country, and we're following the lead of China, we are separating families at birth. So moms are having to go in and birth completely by themselves.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so for us, it's really bad. Last week was Black Maternal Health Week, and so that was part of the conversation. How are we doing this? And seeing that we already have a horrible experience with birth, and our moms died more than any other group, our babies have either they have a higher mortality rate, and then their mobility rate with low birth weight is horrible. So then with COVID and the separation, now what they're doing is we are having to go in and birth ourselves. So no doulas, and this is in the midst of a lot of money that's coming down the pike for doula support. Here in Los Angeles, we have a program called AIM, African American Infant Mortality, Maternal Mortality. And I want to say we were granted a $2.4 million grant to provide Black doulas to Black families to have this support. And so the birth world has gotten very creative. They're doing a lot of virtual support. However, we understand that while we all, most of us, the median, is down at the low level, there still has a small portion, but a nice percentage of us who don't qualify for services like this, but at the same time, they can't afford a $6,000 home birth that's being touted as normal. This is what we should be doing. And then because of our high levels of chronic disease, we're considered high risk, so we can't have a home birth. A lot of times we can't birth with a midwife. And then we can't afford to have our own personal doula, much less when we come home and we're struggling with breastfeeding, which I am part of the lactation community, we can't afford a $200 an hour home visit. And because of COVID, for some of us who are still coming into the home, we're charging more because now it's a higher risk. And we're really not having this conversation about how it's affecting us specifically. I've been trying to share stuff in some of the groups.
Okay.
And one of the things that I really wanted to talk about is how it's affecting our fathers. Because when you look at the whole history, we've just barely gotten to the place where we are speaking for our dads, where they can come in, they're not being disregarded, we're still having issues that when they speak up, nurses are quick, fast, in a hurry to call the police. And so now with COVID, our dads are not being told that they're not allowed into their birthing. Then if they are allowed, they're being asked to leave within 2 hours. And within this program, they're not prepared. And with all of the other stress going on, they're saying how our dads are walking out and breaking down. And for us, that's just, we're going back. And it's really hard, and I don't think we're giving this enough time or effort. I have called my colleagues on the floor about this, that we're having a very women-centered conversation. I can tell you, I don't see any virtual support for dads, especially our dads. And so I want to get this out here. I'm doing an informal survey to see how men are dealing with this, because it's not just the birthing father, it's the whole community. Because how is his parents supporting him? How are they dealing with it? Because women are attached to, they have dads, they have brothers, they have uncles, and when we birth in these kind of stressful situations, then we have a higher incidence of losing a baby. And in some hospitals, Cedars is one, and we know our history with Cedars. Yeah. They are now telling moms they are leading with cesareans. A lot of hospitals are leading with epidurals. Even if you have a midwife and that midwife is still practicing, they are still trying to push these medical interventions. And so I just really wanted to bring this to your attention and to the attention of ADOS to see what we can do. I'm here in Los Angeles, and I'm trying my best to do what I can. And if there's anybody else that wants to work on this, I am definitely here to help. I do think
where can they reach you? Where can they reach you on Twitter or wherever? Where can they reach you at?
I'm at Lydia O Boyd CLE. Lydia O Boyd at CLE.
Okay.
And my website is lydiaoboyd.com. But if you want to participate in that survey, you can. It's at bit.ly Black Fathers COVID. The B is capital, the F is capital, and the COVID-19 is capital.
Because you said something very important. You said like all of the requirements to have like a midwife. Because I saw an article this weekend, I think, about how Black women were turning to midwives. But you just talked about all of the restrictions to that, financial and otherwise, that I didn't even know about.
Because you have to remember, you can't be high risk. And how many of us are obese? We have chronic blood pressure, and then diabetes. Gestational diabetes is high for us. So then when you want to have a birth, you pretty much have to be perfect. But for us, that's not the case. So then you're automatically not qualified for a home birth, a birth center, or even a midwife. They're going to put you with a high-risk doctor. And a high-risk doctor, they're going to push you for induction, and inductions usually lead to cesareans, which then later on affect breastfeeding. And when we look at everything to breastfeeding, I know that's not a hot topic in our community, we need to be breastfeeding more than anybody, because breastfeeding will counteract all of those things I just said. And you can't have maternal health without breastfeeding, because one of the things that we see with these mortality rates is that there's internal bleeding. Well, when you start breastfeeding immediately after childbirth, it starts to close up that uterus and heal that wound where the placenta detached.
Okay.
But if you don't, then you're waiting to do it on its own.
Okay. I had no idea. So it's like a signal. It's like a signal. It's time to close. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Absolutely. And let me do this point, and I need to say this.
Okay, go ahead.
I need to tell our brothers that what you bring, if you and mom are in a good place and you guys are good together, so you need to do whatever you need to do, because what you do is you provide the increase of dopamine in her brain. Your doula is going to increase the oxytocin. Both of those together help her to relax. It puts her body outside of the fight or flight mode, so that she can relax to release the baby, and they don't have to go in and take it.
Yeah.
So and that's not a conversation that we're really having on this level. And I just really wanted to share that so we can maybe pull those in and have these conversations.
And they're asking if you can you put your information in the chat, and I would appreciate if you would do that too. But let me just say this too. Like, we don't really think about that. You're right, we don't think about that. But it makes total sense. If you're giving birth and the father of your child, your husband, you're there, and you're having this moment together, of bringing life into the world, it makes total sense that you would release the dopamine and all that stuff, and it will relax you. And that's kind of the point of y'all being there together and breathe, baby, and you hear you. That's kind of the point. And you think about it, we see it so often, but we don't really think about what that moment means for the woman's body. We just think about it, they're in love, but we don't think about it in like the physical consequence of like that love and that creation and that special moment, what that means for that woman's body relaxing. We don't really talk about that much.
Right. Absolutely. And then we still don't look at the long-term effects for that couple, because and this is one of the things I just presented on, is that in the survey I asked the men, do they feel like this could potentially affect that romantic relationship and that parenting relationship? And the reason why I asked that is, so if she's in it by herself, a lot of times we go through birth trauma, and it's normal across the board. For us, we have a higher rate of it. So that means then we're taking a service without asking. That means we're digitally penetrating without asking. We're cutting without needing to. We're doing cesareans. We're not having the conversations. One of the things that the CDC revised in their statement recently was that the decision to separate mom and baby has to be between the healthcare provider and the birthing person. It can't just be the birthing person. However, a lot of hospitals are using their own interpretation, and they're not seeing that. But the CDC changed it, and they said it needs to be a mutual conversation between the two. Then when you look at it afterwards, so if dad leaves at 2 hours, 2 hours is not enough time to have support for this person who may potentially have a maternity issue. So then what you're asking is, for her, she's now alone, she's scared, so that means the cortisol levels are higher, and she just birthed a person. So she may still be sedated and all this kind of stuff. So now you want her to be aware and to be able to feel comfortable and confident to make an educated decision by herself, not only for her health, but the health of her child, which is that man's child, and he's not there. So then when you come home, and if there's any problems with the decisions or what the treatment, how does this leave this couple? And so then again, when we look at relationships within ADOS, this then puts another oppression on our relationship. And that's one of those things that we have a hard time with. And what really broke my heart is the one story I heard where the father broke down. He waited until he got outside the door and completely broke down. The doula who was able to be there literally had to hold him in his arms. And because this couple was by themselves, he couldn't go to his mama's house. He saw a place to fall. He didn't have anybody. He just had to break right there at that moment. And we've had enough of that. We've had enough of that. And it just upsets me because we're not looking at the full picture. And this is just what one.
Let me ask you though, fam. I have a question. How did his wife come out of it? Like after all of that?
I'm assuming she was fine. Most likely she was fine, and that's fine.
No, I was just worried. I understand that there are other stuff that comes with it. I was just worried.
Well, she was fine. This doula is now doing some support. This doula, she's actually still going into the home.
Okay.
But yeah, they're fine. It's just an emotional thing, and that's long term because we don't know how that's going to affect them. In those cases, we don't know how it's playing out long term for the bonding of the baby. Okay. And I don't even know if she's breastfeeding.
Oh,
but thank you so much, Yvette.
No, thank you.
So much.
No, thank you, fam. I appreciate it because that was a side that I hadn't even considered. So I appreciate you calling in. Thank you.